Hey, 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 Trundle Talks, it's Trundle Talks, it's Trundle Talks, it's Trundle Talks.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Trundl Talks. This is the latest season that we are just starting. You'll see there are a couple more people in the frames usually than you would have been used to. But I'm very happy to introduce Patrick Howell to the Trundle Talks scene as my co-host. We've done this for a couple of seasons now. We've had great conversations with some really cool people. And we're very excited that we have Morgan Folsom with us on this new season, the first episode with Old Street Solutions. And the conversation today is going to be really around reporting and dashboards in Jira. So, Morgan, welcome to Trundle Talks.
Thanks. I'm happy to be here.
Welcome, Morgan.
All right. So, before we begin, let me ask Morgan. Can you quickly, like in a minute, just introduce yourself for the folks who are just listening to you for the first time?
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Morgan Folsom. I'm a product manager for custom charts here at Old Street Solutions. I've been in the role for about a year. Prior to that, I spent a few years in the Atlassian ecosystem as a consultant. So sort of exploring Agile and ITSM and all of the fun process stuff that comes along with the Atlassian tools. And then last year made the jump over to Old Street to sort of move on to the back end of that process instead of just implementing the apps for customers, actually having some say in how they look and how they work.
Awesome. So let me jump right into it. So my first question that I would like to ask you, Morgan, is like, we know reporting, right? So reporting has been a part of project management for quite some time.
Yeah.
Like it's quite evident that without adequate project management report, there's no visibility to the stakeholders. You know, the clients end up being in the dark. You're not able to understand where it's going in terms of reporting or like the progress. But what does reporting mean to you? Like when you think of reporting, what do you think?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think people tend to put reporting into its own bucket. There's project management and the process and the things that we care about. And then there's the reports that eventually we'll figure out, which I think is where a lot of project management teams and really teams in general sort of fail in that they build the reports that the executives want to see, and those may or may not actually align with like what the team is doing or what the team needs to accomplish. So for me, reporting is really closely tied with that, like the actual process, right? So all it is showing off the things that you're doing. I think once you try to make it its own little universe, which is a path you can go down and spend years going down. That's when you really start to get that disconnect between what's actually being reported, like what people care about versus, the metrics that need to be checked off. So for me, it's all it is exposing what the teams are doing and where they need to be going.
Awesome. So I really like that you said like it's for the people, right? It's at the end of the day for people to get. So do you think there really is like a specific way in which reporting should be catered as per to the audience that is being forwarded to, or is there like a one size fits all?
Oh, definitely not a one size fits all. I think that if you try to go that route and just put together like what we'll see in Jira often is this is like a status report, these are how many tickets are in backlog, how many tickets are in to do, and try to send that to every single person who could care. Most people are just like, no, whatever. This is not useful for me. It's just Jira data. So I think and when I tend to talk about reporting best practices, the very first thing that I talk about is tailoring your reporting to the audience. And when I build dashboards and do reporting, that's where I start. Is who am I going to send this to? Who's going to look at this? And then what do they actually care about?
What do you think in sort of demarcating Jira native capabilities with reporting to augmented reporting with add-ons? So many of our customers, they have a reporting add-on, right? So what is usually, or what are the most common points or pain points or capabilities in which the average Jira software customer says, I need something more than what Jira is providing natively?
Yeah. One thing about Jira is that you can do basically anything in it, right? Like it's infinitely flexible. The reports, not so much. And so people get comfortable with the fact that they can customize, their Jira projects and their processes to how the teams actually work. But then there's like no corresponding reports that they can view. So there's like, you've got your basic like sprint reporting and your board reports that if you are running Agile, like by the book, if you're a 5-star Scrum team, do every ceremony, follow everything perfectly, those will be great. But what we often see is that the second that you veer off of the standard or the best practice, the reports are like, well, you can't really do anything. It's just the reports are what they are. So we see that a lot. Also, just like speaking of one size fits all reporting, even if you look at just like the out of the box pie chart, it's like you select a field and a source and like a project, and that's sort of it, which is great if you need to count issues from a single source and do nothing else. So I would say one of the biggest things, even like across the board, that Jira doesn't do is anything other than counting issues. When we're talking dashboards, right? So it's it's how many issues are on a pie chart and the 2-dimensional filter statistics and your filter results, all of it's just counting issues. But teams look at a lot more than that. Even if we look at like Agile teams using story points, right? You can't build a pie chart based off of story points with the native gadgets. Or custom, even like with waterfall or more traditional project management organizations, tracking things like cost and like monetary information or any budget info in Jira. You can't do anything with that as far as reporting goes out of the box.
So Morgan, you mentioned like how it can differ between the types of project that they are working on, right? Like for example, project waterfall, standard life cycle, or an agile. But I've literally spoken to a couple of agile coaches, and they've said that how a specific report could be anti-agile. Like for example, do the numbers always show the clear picture? Like what do you think about that?
Yeah, and I think this kind of gets into the first question about like, why are you reporting? What are you reporting on? Especially with Agile teams, what will happen as folks sort of go down that Agile transformation is they want proof that it's working, right? Like they want numbers to tell them that they are doing good at this and that everything's getting better and all the money they spend on Agile coaches and safe consultants and whatever was worth it. So they'll start trying to find those numbers. They'll do things like compare velocity between team 1 and team 2 and all those things that you just like shouldn't do. But things that aren't the reporting fault, it's like not the fault of the reporting. It's, it's a people problem and a cultural thing, is what I find. But if you lead with reports, it can totally fall into that.
So basically it should like complement how the team's processes are, but not run how the team's processes are, right?
100%. Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
Awesome. Another thing that I would like to ask you, Morgan, is like when we're talking about the health of a project, right? So the health of a project, like whether it's green, yellow, orange, how it has been for quite some time, just using colors to identify how the status of the project is. Do you think there is a misconception to that? Because in today's world, like as we are talking, like 5 different parameters, if you're trying to visualize the data, you're leaving some space open for some constructive criticism. The text part and the numbers part don't club together. So like it's either a text report that is somebody, being typed in Confluence, or it's on, a dashboard where like there's such great, amazing red, green, yellow visualized numbers. How do project managers, scrum masters, or like program owners bring that to one place?
Yeah, and I think that's a huge problem. Another thing to say with the native reporting is there's that clear divide. And I kind of tend to see this too with teams who are using Jira and Confluence. Occasionally it'll be like X lives in Confluence, Y lives in Jira, and they shall never intersect.
Yeah.
And then you miss all of that context. But what I have seen be with like a status report, the most successful is where you can get that mix, whether that's from pulling your reports into Confluence. Like that's why we have custom charts for Confluence. So you can embed the chart on the same page that you're writing up the description of like, hey, this has been read for 6 weeks. This is why, I swear, please don't fire me. Like all of that. So you can put that next to it. But that's also why we've done things like add a description option to every gadget. So even on your Jira dashboards, you can add with custom charts, you can add the paragraph, you can have the fully formatted like you would in Confluence, either the list of, why please don't fire me, I know this is bad, or this is how you read this report. Because sometimes people will look at it and like I mentioned before, like comparing velocity from one team to another, or just seeing this one's red and that's bad, and this one's amber and that's okay, this one's green, that's good. But being able to add the description of like, this is how you can interpret this chart, this is what it means, by using a description, embedding that directly on the dashboard can be really helpful.
Awesome. I want to shift and talk about this music video. Okay, so so we at Trundle, we did some video production for JiraCon. I would say our budget wasn't £10,000, as was mentioned in the video.
Anytime now.
Yeah.
And so no, it was great. I would love to hear just a little bit of backstory about that video, what inspired it, and then after that, I want to hear your rankings in terms of the 3 main actors in there for their solos, where they rank.
No.
Wait, it's Chris, Jamal, and
I think Gabriel had one.
Was it Gabriel? It was Gabriel. That's right. So I'm gonna have to, at the end of this, you're gonna have to say who was the best and who was the worst. Okay. I have an idea. For me, Chris was just awful, and if I were to do it, it would be even worse. No, I'm just joking. But
oh my God, you can't. That's my boss. You can't pick me.
I love Chris.
Okay. Yeah. So
and for the record, I love the video. It's just fantastic.
It's something. So for the record, this video is how it came about was, and really our marketing team, and Chris is a really great leader in that he lets the team have a huge amount of like decision-making power. And so he was like, okay, we want to do something that is marketing and is team building for the marketing team. And that's what they landed on, a music video in Poland. I wasn't part of the conversation. I don't know how we landed on that. I will say that all I saw was like general Slack chatter about like, hey, we got some dancers for the video. And I was like, what? Okay. Didn't know what was going on until about a week before they published it. I saw the video and then we record. I don't know if they ever published the recording of everybody reacting to the
You got to keep these things secret. With our silly video with the exploding rocket, that team didn't see it until it was done. And some were like, oh, we could have put a few more dollars in this.
Yeah, it turns out some places we travel to are fairly inexpensive, so they had a lot of money for
my gosh,
renting fancy cars.
Fancy cars, yeah, it's like 1970s, like the pimp cars and stuff like that. Right?
Yeah, they were pretty
at some point. So I saw it very late after it came out, and the first time I saw it, I thought like Dwayne Johnson would just come out, featured with it, the Tech Nine song, like after Jamal, it would be like just Dwayne Johnson coming in like rapping as well.
Yes. So it's quite a video. I had like no idea what to expect going into it. I love it. The original, like, the first thing I saw, and Chris was like, okay, what's your feedback? What do you guys think? Like, would this make you more likely to work for Old Street Solutions? And I was like, oh, I don't know. yeah, probably. It shows the team doesn't take themselves too seriously.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a BTS, like a behind the scenes video? Like, that will really be cool.
We do. If it wasn't published, maybe there's a good reason.
Yeah, I mean, the end, there's a couple cut ups of folks corpsing and things like that.
Yeah.
Again, if it was of me, there would be an endless amount of those. I can't remember lines ever. and I have no rhythm whatsoever. So
Yeah, there's some secret things where there's scenes where Jacek is like looking at a phone, and sure, he's definitely not just reading the lyrics off the phone as part of like the thing.
Yeah.
There are also some behind the scenes videos of like between the three of us and your whole audience of Chris twerking, which I don't think will ever be public, but
oh my God, this is now recorded.
So everybody can just imagine that. And
definitely not editing this out.
Yeah. So, but the video is great.
I won't force you to rank them. I won't.
Thank you. I don't want to make enemies.
No.
I think everybody did a great job. I'm glad they did. I'm glad that I wasn't asked to rap, frankly. It wouldn't have been. I'd be more like the Chris Berry who was in the back, just like there for moral support. That would have been me.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
Very
but
good.
No, it turned out good, and that
it's different. Not a lot of partners do those kinds of things, and we dipped our toe in it, and we're gonna do it again this year a couple times. I don't think at that kind of scale, but you know, we want to keep one-upping each other a little bit.
Yeah, but there won't be any beef. Like we won't have Trundle and Old Street will not have a rap feud though.
We can't compete with that. Or I can't.
Don't say that to the team because they will be so excited about that idea. That would light up here that we would have rap beef with another partner.
Oh my gosh.
That'd be good.
Yeah, no, it's really fun being part of a team who's willing to be that like silly with their marketing.
Yes,
for sure. Yeah.
It's
and I think you require that, right? Like in the last 2 years, how things have been, like a normal LinkedIn post just doesn't cut it.
No, definitely not. And that's kind of Old Street's philosophy too, is like there's a lot of partners in the like marketplace vendors and solution partners in the ecosystem. Yeah. And occasionally there is a tendency for things to kind of blend together if you don't get creative. Like you guys did the video too. You've kind of seen how you need to separate yourself from the pack of the same. We did a marketing study early, it was probably early last year, and pulled a bunch of images from different partners and was like, could you tell which one of these are from Atlassian or from a partner? And you kind of have that like that homogenous marketing style in the ecosystem, which can be helpful, and particularly when it's kind of a fragmented ecosystem, but also can get a little lost in the fray.
Yeah.
And how are you guys doing? Like you have distributed teams as well, right? With everybody working from home, how are you guys have been like work like a video like that definitely took a lot of planning and like any initiative that you guys take. How do you guys manage it?
Yeah. So what's nice about Old Street is that it's kind of always been distributed teams. So it was built that way, which means we have all of the culture and infrastructure to support that. I have no idea how they coordinated flying half a dozen people across the world. Helped that I think all of them were already in Europe and sort of in the area, but the coordination is definitely hard. We've got a million Slack channels, the travel plans and community events and all of that fun stuff. But I think a lot of it is just the team's very flexible and very comfortable being flexible. And there's a lot of, even we're still like a startup. We're still a very small company, respectively. And so that kind of flexibility is necessary. Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. I think those are the questions we had. Thank you, Morgan, for your time today. It was great chatting up with you, specifically for being the first guest. We're very thankful for you to join us.
Yeah. Absolutely.
We're going to put this video out in the Jira brunch, so I'm really excited to have people see this.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was a pleasure talking with you guys today.
Hey, Patrick, do you want to just speak about that for a minute?
I am. We're deploying kind of a every 6-week kind of magazine called Jira Brunch. So it's a nice sort of digest of small, short form content, long form videos, new articles or posts that are relevant based around a theme. So this one coming out around February 14th is on reporting. And so, hey, that's why we're talking with you, Morgan, amongst, some other partners and other content we're going to have out there. And next issue in March is going to be on automation. So we're kind of just doing an aggregation of great content around the Atlassian community. So we're excited to have you a part of the first one.
Yeah, that's exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
And maybe it'll have a cartoon dissing the whole street rap video.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I tell you,
absolutely.
they would be the highlight of their year.
Yes.
If we had some beef.
You know what?
And
We'll put that on the brunch. I'll commit to it right now, just to see
an
you guys
Indian
next
Calvin
time.
like me and American Hobbes and just talking about.
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Awesome.
Cool.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you, Morgan.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Bye-bye.